Chapter 14. Identity Remedies. We need to develop a positive kingdom perspective. God will reveal strategies to break through spiritual strongholds. If you recognize any of these in your life, simply pray and ask God to give you the strength and a remedy to overcome it. I have already given you some steps you can take, but now I want to give you strategies from God that you can implement into your life that will help build a solid spiritual foundation. When we continually focus our attention on things that are wrong, negative, or that don't work, then we can start to see the world through a negative viewpoint and start believing this is the reality everywhere. Just watch the news on television, and you can start thinking that things are very bad everywhere. Fear and hopelessness can set in, and we start thinking that the world is going down. So what is the use anyway? Well, the true reality is that God is still in charge, and last I checked, He is still in a good mood. His love and changing power are still available to us all. We must develop what Jesus referred to as eyes that see. We must have the belief that nothing is too difficult for God. God's love and power are much stronger than any demonic power. We have nothing to fear. It helps to get the perspective that powers of darkness in this world are trying to destroy God's creation. We must be careful not to buy into the lie that we are all doomed. So when we see someone suffering from things like depression, suicidal thoughts, or sickness, we must realize that this is not the will of God for this person or even ourselves. It is the plan of the enemy to steal their life and destiny. Because God's love and will for us are the only true reality, we must recognize the works of darkness as a counterfeit and deterrent to God's intentions for us. We can learn a very powerful strategy in the encounters I just mentioned, where Jesus encourages people to change their lives. The example of Mary peering into the tomb of Jesus, crying while Jesus was behind her calling her to turn away from her pain. Satan wanted Mary to focus on her pain and loss, but Jesus was calling her to focus on the new life that He brings. When you see the works of darkness in a person's life, or your own for that matter, you have the opportunity to positively turn it around and bring God's love and encouragement, which will lead to a new life. 1 John 3:8. He that committeth sin is of the devil, for the devil sinneth from the beginning. For this purpose the Son of God was manifested, that He might destroy the works of the devil. I am always looking to encourage people who are suffering from negative influences. Living our lives with a greater measure of God's love and light is extremely powerful. We dispel darkness, sometimes without having to say a word, because the Spirit within us is powerful and healing. Ephesians 5:8. For ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. We all need to understand and regularly practice the positive spiritual principles of praying for those who curse us, loving those who hate us, giving to those in need, helping the oppressed, being humble as opposed to proud and arrogant, forgiving those who offend us. The list is actually too long to fully mention here, but you get the picture. Notice that most of these principles are relationally oriented. They teach us how to relate with others and with God. We can change the spiritual atmosphere around us by loving, blessing, and being an encouragement everywhere we go. Many people love God, but when no one is looking, they can be guilty of mistreating or being mean to people. Your life will be overflowing with good things that you gave out to others, to the point that you cannot help but change the world around you. What you sow is what you will reap. If you sow grumbling, doubt, fear, depression, anxiety, and complaining, then that is what you will get in return. Developing a positive kingdom perspective and lifestyle is what will truly change our lives and the lives of many around us. Seeing ourselves as God sees us. The amazing thing about God is that when He sees your life, He has a perspective that is way beyond ours. He somehow simultaneously looks at our past, sees our present struggles, and knows our full potential in the future, and He loves us right where we are today. He deals with us according to the level of maturity that we are at right now, and He does not require more than we can handle. Most of the strategies of Satan deal with the fact that we all sometimes let the past hold us back from the future. This is because we have not learned to develop the ability of seeing ourselves as God sees us. If you want to stop allowing negative things from your past to control your present and future, it will involve changing old thoughts and patterns. Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Renewing your mind involves replacing the old mindset with a new one. Your new mindset is who you are becoming, not who you have been. The good news is that this is the way that God sees you. When you come into line with God's intentions, you actually tap into His unlimited power to transform your life. Here's how it works. God's purpose for you is to prosper you, give you hope and a future, and not harm you. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. If you try to make changes in your life by focusing on what you should not do, then you were trying to live by rules and not by a relationship with God. God is relationship-oriented. That is why He refers to Himself as Father and to Jesus as His Son. This indicates that He wants to relate to us as family. The Bible compares this transformation to stepping away from the picture of your old self and putting on a picture of your new self. God's focus is on you becoming who you were created to be. He relates to you according to this image. It is very important that you see yourself in this way as well. Ephesians 1:18. The eyes of your understanding being enlightened, that ye may know what is the hope of His calling, and what the riches of the glory of His inheritance in the saints. The Greek word used for know is to see or perceive. This goes deeper than just head knowledge. When you see and perceive the hope of your calling, it causes you to take action because it is much more tangible and real. God sees us as we are becoming, or in other words, in our full potential. Here are some biblical examples illustrating this concept. Judges 6. Gideon is hiding in fear, and an angel comes and calls him a mighty man of valor. God treated him according to the way He saw him in the future. John 1:40-42. One of the two which heard John speak and followed him was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. He first findeth his own brother Simon, and saith unto him, We have found the Messiah, which is being interpreted the Christ. And he brought him to Jesus. And when Jesus beheld him, he said, Thou art Simon, the son of Jonah. Thou shalt be called Cephas, which is by interpretation a stone. Saul was murdering Christians, and then God knocked him to the ground on the road to Damascus. Before Saul's life was changed, God told Ananias to tell Saul that he is a chosen instrument and is a brother. The key is to begin to see yourself in your full potential in God. See yourself as God sees you, not as you once were, or even as you are now, but by faith getting a picture of who you are becoming in God. You might not be there yet, but if you begin seeing yourself there, then you will start changing your behavior to act differently. You will start coming into agreement with God for your life calling. How to change instantly. You can change your behavior right now, instantly, when you understand that you can refocus your thoughts or emotional energy away from the negative. This is because whatever you focus on becomes your reality. Proverbs 23:7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. Let's say you are focusing on feeling bad about being in debt. Most likely you will carry this negative baggage with you throughout your entire life. It is like a weight tied around your neck and shoulders. Instead, decide right now that you will put a debt reduction plan in place and get on with life. Begin to refocus on finding creative ways to earn additional money and have fun in the process. Galatians 6:7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Matthew 21:22. And all things, whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive. In other words, where you focus your energy, you are making this principle a reality in your life. You can learn to make the most of every situation. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. It is not worth getting upset. As you learn to redirect your focus, it will free you up to begin to plan how you want things to be instead. This is how your creative flow, connection to God, gets reestablished, and solutions to various issues in your life will come more easily to you.